For years, cheap computers came with an unwritten warning label. Slow performance, loud fans, plastic bodies that flexed every time you picked them up. And the moment you opened more than 5 tabs, everything started falling apart. That was the deal. If you wanted something fast, silent, and premium, you paid premium money. That's how the industry worked. Until now. Because Apple may be preparing something that completely changes the entry-level computer market. Not a MacBook Pro. Not a flagship desktop. Something much smaller. Rumors are calling it the Mac Neo, a tiny desktop designed to bring the Mac experience to people who never considered Apple affordable before. And honestly, that could be a huge problem for the entire PC industry. Think about it. Most people don't need massive gaming towers anymore. They don't need giant RGB setups or bulky laptops with overheating problems. They just want a machine that feels fast every single day. Open apps instantly. Edit videos smoothly. Run AI tools without lag. Stay silent while doing all of it. That's where Apple has an advantage nobody else can easily copy. Efficiency. If the leaks are true, the Mac Neo could use an A-series chip derived from the iPhone lineup, meaning insanely low power consumption with surprisingly high performance. And because it's a desktop, Apple can push that chip harder than it ever could inside a phone. That means real creative performance in a device small enough to fit beside your monitor like a coffee mug. Now imagine the price. If Apple somehow lands between $299 and $499, this becomes dangerous territory for companies like Dell, HP, Asus, and Lenovo. Because suddenly the conversation changes from, "Can I afford a Mac?" to, "Why would I buy anything else?" And this isn't just about hardware. Apple understands ecosystem psychology better than anyone in tech. Once someone buys their first Mac, they start using AirDrop, then iCloud, then iMessage on desktop, then maybe AirPods, maybe an iPhone later. The computer becomes the entry point to an entire digital lifestyle. That's why this rumored machine matters so much. It's not trying to replace the Mac Studio or Mac Pro. It's trying to replace the cheap Windows laptop sitting in millions of homes right now. And timing is everything. As AI becomes built into everyday software, older budget PCs are struggling harder than ever. Windows machines increasingly need more RAM, bigger batteries, stronger cooling, and more expensive chips just to keep up. Meanwhile, Apple keeps proving that optimization can beat brute force. That's the real threat here. Not raw specs. Not gaming benchmarks. Simplicity. A silent little desktop that just works. No fan noise. No giant power brick. No system slowdown after 6 months. If Apple actually delivers this thing, it could become the most important budget computer of the decade. Not because it's the most powerful, but because it finally makes premium computing feel accessible. And once people experience that level of speed and polish for the first time, they may never want to go back. So the real question is this. If Apple released a tiny Mac for the price of a budget PC, would you switch?